Okay, so this is algebra. So what algebra is, it's like basically in a synopsis, it's just like letters that are represent numbers, and you have to find what number the letter actually equals. It's kind of like a puzzle, but these are pretty simple. Oh, maybe you've seen this, maybe you haven't, maybe you think it's easy, I don't know. So what you want to do is there's some number x that if I take 3 away from it, it equals 15. Now, some people might know the number in their head, that's fine, but one way you can think about it is, okay, here's the x. Circle the equals and forget about that number on the other side. So I'm subtracting 3 from the x, and so the opposite of minus 3 is just going to be plus 3. So what I do is I put a plus 3 right there and just it's gone. A minus 3 and a plus 3 cancel out. Now I go to the other side of my equation, and an equation is like a balance. If you add like 3 pounds to one side of a balance, you have to add 3 pounds to the other side. So I need to add a 3 then to that 15. So 15 plus 3 gives me 18. So I can just put 18. That's your answer. Okay, next one. Here's the equals. And some number x, if I add 6 to that number, I get 17. Okay, so what I need to do is do the opposite of plus 6 to this side, which is minus 6. Okay, 6 minus 6, positive 6 minus 6 is 0, so that goes away. Now, if I have something balanced out and it's balanced perfectly, if I take 6 pounds away from one side, well, I'd have to take it from the other side too. Same thing. Okay, so then I've got x equals, and then 17 minus 6 gives you 11. Okay, next one, x plus 45 equals 60. So here's my equals. It's like the middle of the balance. On this side of the balance, I've got x. If I add a 45 to it, I'm going to come up with 60. Okay, so the opposite of plus 45 is to minus 45. So if I'm minus 45, that can be just forgotten about. But like on a balance, if you take 45 pounds from one side, you got to take 45 pounds from the other side. Okay, so 50 minus 40, 60 minus 45 is 15. Okay, next one, x some number. If I take 14 away from it, minus 14, it's going to give me 60. So I got to find out what the number is that I take 14 away from to give me 60. Okay, so there's the x, minus 14. The opposite would be to plus 14. And then again, plus 14. It's kind of like weightlifting on a bench. Like if you take pounds off of one side but not the other, the guy doing the bench press is going to die. Okay, he's going to get his neck crushed. Okay, his vocal cords basically are crushed. You won't be able to talk again. That would just be a bummer. Okay, so 60 plus 14 is 74. Okay, now you're like, what's up with this? Well, it says negative 4 plus x. So if you're not good with negatives, you don't have to be good with negatives to do this problem right here. Now, as you can see that 4 right there, that negative is just like a minus sign, okay? It's just like a minus 4. So the opposite of minus 4 is plus 4. So plus 4, that goes away. I got to come to the other side and plus 4 there. So I've got x as my number, and then 10 plus 4 is 14. Okay, positive 18 plus x equals 24. Now again, just think of that 18 as a plus 18. And the opposite of plus 18 is minus 18. So I minus 18 goes away. Minus 18. Okay, so I have x. And 24 minus 18 gives me 6. Okay, so that's 6. Okay, negative 10 plus x equals 6. Okay, so if you look at that 10, because here's the equals, this is the middle of the balance, and the x I'm trying to figure out is over here. So it's like a negative 10, the opposite of minus 10 is plus 10. Then I go plus 10 over here. Okay, so I've got x equals 6 plus 10. 6 plus 10 is 16. Okay, x minus 6, so you got minus 6, and that's going to be the opposite is to plus 6, and that goes away. Then I'd have to plus 6 to this side to keep the equation balanced. Okay, and 17 plus 6 is 23. Okay, now pause the video and just do the problems on the back side. It's the same idea of what you've been doing. You're either adding or subtracting from both sides to find what your x is. So just pause it and then continue the video once you're done. Okay, and then here's the other page that I wanted to go over. Okay, it says 2x equals 8. Okay, I mean, there's no plus or minus to it. And what does 2x mean? Well, it means 2 times some number x gives me an answer of 8. So I'm going to put x equals down here. That's what I'm trying to figure out. So I'm going to put a little dot between the 2 and the x because a dot means multiplication. So that means 2 times x is going to be 8. So let's go over here. When I have multiplication, here's what I do to find my answer. And you might already know what 2 times what number is 8. Okay, you might know what that answer is, and that's cool. Okay, but the way they kind of want it done, I don't need you to do it this way. If you got your own way, that's fine too. So it's multiplication. This 2 is being multiplied by x. Well, I don't want the 2 there, but it's not added or subtracted. Okay, it's multiplied by the x. So what I'm going to do, if the number's multiplying the variable I'm trying to figure out, I like to underline both sides. And in math, that means division. And under both these lines, you're going to put this number here that's multiplied by the x, so 2. So here's what happens. The side where I have the 2 over the 2, those can be canceled out. So I have just x, and then 8 divided by 2. 8 divided by 2 is 4. Okay, next one. 20 equals 4x. Again, what's 4x mean? It means 4 times x. So I put the dot right there. Then to figure that out, of course, when I have a times, I like to underline both sides, meaning divide, because the opposite of times is divide. And we put the x, the number that's multiplied by the x, the 4, underneath both. And where I have the 4 on top of the 4, that cancels. And there x's. And then on the other side, I just take 20 divided by 4. And 20 divided by 4 is 5. Okay, next one. 6x. Again, 6, just 6x. 6 clumped together with an x means 6 times x. So I don't want that times 6 there, the 6 times there. So what I do is I underline both sides. And then whatever number's multiplied by the x, the 6 in this case, I put underneath. And then the 6 divided by 6, 6 over 6 just cancels out. On the other side, 30 divided by 6 is 5. Okay, 4x equals 44, so that means 4 times x. So again, when I have that dot there, I know I'm going to underline both sides, and I'm going to put the number that's multiplied by the x, in this case the 4, underneath there. So 4 over 4, just cross that out. And then 44 divided by 4 is 11. Okay. Okay, next one. 18x means 18 times x, so I put a dot, and then again, underline both sides. Let's see, 18 right there. 18 cancel out. Because when you divide a number by itself, that's 1, but having a 1 in front of a letter means you don't need a number there at all. Then you're like, well, I don't know 54 times 18. Just calculator's good. That's 3. Calculators are always allowed. Okay, x equals, so 5x equals 60, so I put the dot there. So with the dot, of course, I will be dividing by the 5. You want to always put the number that's with the x that's multiplied by the x, the number with the dot and the x, that always goes underneath both of them. So we can cross that out, and then I have just x, and then the other side, 60 divided by 5 gives me 12, I believe. Yep. $12x equals 60. Put the dot there. We underline both sides, and whatever number's multiplied by the x, that's what we put there. So 12 and 12. So cancel that. 60 divided by 12 is 5. Okay, 45 equals 15x. So 15x means 15 times x. And it says 15 here we don't want with the x, so it's 15 out of here. And 45 divided by 15 is 3. Okay, so some things, what you just learned in that video was adding, subtracting on the first page, and then the multiplication, or the dividing on the other one.